Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's not on? Yeah.
Please call roll.
Bilski.
Here.
Aaron. No, here. Braverman.
Okay.
Here.
Huber.
Here. Can I have a motion to excuse Francis Kluter from the meeting tonight?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Sir. Thank you. If you call roll, please.
Bilski.
Yes.
Perry. Klein.
Yes.
Huber.
Yes. Can I have a motion to confirm the appointment of Hinkai to the Finance Committee?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you.
We're going to give that to Lisa.
What's that?
I'm giving that second to Lisa.
Do you want me to introduce?
Sure.
Hinkai, is that how I say it? Also goes by Heinz Yi. He is an Orange resident for 3 years, and he owns multiple businesses and has extensive private accounting practice experience, and wants to join our committee and serve in Orange Village in some way. And our finance committee has, I think, only 2 other citizen, like resident members who are not on council, so he is very welcome, and recommend that council accept him as a member of the finance committee.
Thank you, Ms. Perry. If you would call roll, please.
Bilski.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Braverman.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Huber.
Yes. If you want to come up here and get sworn in.
Right here,
Right here.
in front of me. Congratulations. State your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of
Trevor today.
rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge my duties as a member of the Finance Committee of Orange Village, State of Ohio, during my continuance in said office.
These statements inside the park.
Board, shake everyone's hand, then come back and sign this.
Described it too. Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Finance Committee.
Anna over there will get you a suitable for framing copy.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
See you next month. You're welcome to stay.
I have a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of April 3rd, 2019. I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Anybody have any comments on the minutes? Changes, anything? All right, if you'd call roll, please.
Perry. Yes. Braverman.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Huber.
Yes. Moving on to the public hearings, open the public hearing for Emery Road, Lakes of Orange Phase 7, M&E Curtis LLC and Curtis Enterprises, Inc., which owns the property at 27400 and 27450 Emery Road, respectively, are seeking variances of 25 feet from the Orange Village zoning code to permit some of the residences that will be built at Lakes of Orange Phase 7 to be located not less than 25 feet from the proposed development's eastern property line. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on the, on this? No? Okay. All right, we will close the public hearing. open public hearing for 345 Tahoe Trail, rear yard setback variance. Pulte Group at 345 Tahoe Trail, Orange Village, is seeking a variance from the Orange Village zoning code for a rear yard setback based on the development site, or I'm sorry, on the development plan. Is there anybody who'd like to speak in regards to that? No? Okay. If not, close the public hearing. Can I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report of fiscal year 2019 through February?
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. Dana, hi.
Evening. The cash summary for February 28th has a cash balance of $9,227,352. We had total revenues for February of $1,174,000, and our expenses were $672,000. And that primarily, most of the revenue was, we got our big chunk of our property taxes. Then you have the revenue expenditure report showing all funds for the quarter. I'm sorry, for the month, it's just the general fund. We highlighted this year, this month, any of the changes that were more significant above the 2 months of 16%, and gave you little notations to try to help maybe explain some of the variances, so I didn't have to stand up here and go through each one of them with you. So to make it easier for you to review. So did you have any questions?
Do you have any questions? All right. If you would please call roll.
Bilski?
Yes.
Carey?
Yes.
Braverman? Klein?
Yes.
And I'll make a motion to approve the tax administrator's report of March 31st, 2019. Is there a second? Thank you. Would please.
The tax administrator report is for funds received through March 31st. For March, we received $276,000, which is 88,000 more than what we collected in March of last year. And in total, we are $239,000 over where we were year to date. And we're right on target with our budget. Pinecrest is moving along smoothly. Rita still has a couple of businesses to process, and so we're getting to the point where we're getting caught up with the back taxes.
Any questions? To being caught up with the Rita issues?
I'm going to meet with them after I get my final distribution, which should be coming next week. I'll see where we are in April and see if we've got them all processed and we're all caught up. There's one that we're still working on that probably is going to take a little bit longer, but the rest of them.
Are you doing anything proactively for anything, just so this problem doesn't keep happening with anything else that's opening in Pinecrest?
When we have businesses opening, we have been reaching out, and Rita's been reaching out to them and letting them know, and I've been fielding phone calls and making sure that they register on the Rita website to make sure they get everything corrected.
All right, so we are,
Also, we give a business packet, which has,
I know, but I mean, I don't know if that is as effective as reaching out personally to them in a situation like this where there's some confusion, because the business packet, I don't know if that necessarily worked last time.
Well, as soon as we hear that there's an occupancy for the business through the building department, I send those to Rita, so they have the contact information. They reach out to those businesses to make sure that they know where they're reporting.
Sure that Rita is actually personally reaching out to...
Yes, because I get a report from them every month.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the developer also trying to educate the tenants as they're moving in that this is a problem?
they make a big deal of letting the tenants know that they are in Orange Village and to please use Orange Village. I don't think they get
Tax advice,
They
but
do try to,
they owe Rita and...
no, that they are in Orange Village.
Been many openings in the past month?
The newer businesses that are opening up, I think we're doing well with getting them reporting correctly. and we're still working on the back ones, getting those processed.
Do we know the amount of back that's still owed to us?
I don't know that, and my next step is to find out of the money we've collected to break out how much of it was 2018 and 2019, so I'm waiting on that report. Well, I'll have that for you next month.
Oh, so we know which of these were from retros and which are...
That's what I want to work on, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm hoping I can get that information from Rita.
Okay. Will you maybe, if you get that, will you maybe put that in a
Oh, I'll give you something, yes.
thing that breaks it down? Okay. Comments, questions, concerns? All right. If you would call roll, please. Thank you.
Bilski?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Braverman?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. Discussion of bills to be paid in the month of April in the amount of $165,144.36, and additional March expenses in the amount of $1,036,379.72.
Point to everybody that you're seeing one of the first of the TIF transactions going through the bills to be paid. In the additional March expenses, there's the portion of the TIF payment that the schools get, that's their 25%, and the $615,000 is the rest of the payment that comes through us and then goes to pay off the debt. So that's $730,000 of the $1 million.
Do you have any other comments on the bills? All right.
I just have a quick question. Is that all counted separately, seeing these funds
We have a separate fund for the TIF?
coming in and going out? Yeah, okay. I mean, I assumed we did, but I just...
209, looks like. Yeah.
For the fire truck, but it's not here yet, right?
Correct, we paid the fire truck. I just asked the chief earlier, hopefully this week, you got an answer?
I just texted him and asked him to say, he's gonna call the shop in the morning, and he's hoping for Friday.
Oh, because you wanted it today.
I wanted it today, and I talked to the ISO guy, so it's not as big a deal as I thought it was gonna be.
Knows it's coming, okay. Oh, good, okay.
All right, anything else about the bills? Any comments relating to agenda items only? Anyone, Bueller? Moving on to old business pending legislation and motions, ordinance 2019-10, an ordinance amending certain sections of Chapter 1337 of the Codified Ordinances of Orange Village regarding sewage treatment system point of sale inspections. This is on for second reading. Anybody have any? Nothing's changed in this since
last week.
Anyone? All right. Moving on to ordinance 2019-11, ordinance amending sections 1323.05 and 1331.09 of the Codified Ordinances of Orange Village to clarify the entry policy of the village's building department. It's on for second reading. Again, same thing, Steve? No changes. Okay. Any?
On our website, or after they pass, they're posted?
After they pass, they're posted.
It is posted as the
They're
agenda.
signed.
That's,
Posted.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you have people know that this is happening.
well, it's so obscure. I don't know that this has ever been used.
Anything else? All right. Moving on to new business. A motion, is there a motion to adopt the final order and conclusions of fact for Emery Road, Lakes of Orange, Phase 7, variance pursuant to the request of M&E Curtis LLC and Curtis Enterprise, Inc. owners?
Second.
Any comments? If you'd call roll, please.
Bilski?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Braverman?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. And is there a motion to adopt the final order and conclusions of fact for 345 Tahoe Trail, rear yard setback variance pursuant to the request of Pulte Group owners? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
Second. Yep. Is that one, Lisa?
Thank you.
Any other comments? Sorry, if you call roll, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Harry. Braverman,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Moving on to audience comments relating to matters which advance the good of the village. Jordan, really?
Went through it?
You're not going to hang out?
We're almost done.
Any audience comments? No. Move on to committee reports and comments by council members. Mrs. Perry?
The Garden Committee's meeting on Saturday, and we have filled all the plots, and we have a waiting list, right, Anna? Right. 5 people, so new people who are moving into the village apparently really think it's cool. We're going to give them an opportunity next year. They don't get in this year, and we're
Did you,
the new season.
did you talk to the master gardener lady?
Meeting, I sent an email to you guys letting you know that somebody might be coming who's not in the garden. That's the lady.
She's a master gardener, but isn't a
She just moved, she moved in too late. That's what I thought you were talking about. Maybe you could keep a plot left, not sold, for people that move in. I don't know, the resident.
We didn't build that into our bylaws at all, or,
Okay.
like our...
Want to prevent somebody who's on the waiting list from having one.
Even a non-resident?
A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Even a non-resident?
I think that Orange Village residents should always get priority.
A priority.
But this is a person who moved in after that priority left.
Action.
So that priority deadline is gone, but they'll have an opportunity next year.
And she wants to, yeah.
She's a resident, so she'll get in, most likely. Not a big deal. And that's all.
Mr. Braverman?
You know, I just wanted to report one thing, and that is I was listening to, I think it was NPR, it could have been somebody else, but about the plastic bag ordinances that were being passed around the country.
And the county's introduced one now.
But the interesting thing is, they reported on this NPR report that in places where the plastic bag ordinance had been passed, sales of garbage bags locally had gone up 120%. I get the impression that a lot of people were just recycling the plastic bags that they were getting from the retailers and not buying garbage bags, and now they're
Interesting.
stuck with buying garbage.
Funny.
I'm not sure that changes the number of bags that go into the landfill, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what we did, but apparently there's a trend, so we'll see what happens.
Mr. Bilski?
So last week, you may remember there were some comments about an article that appeared in the Chagrin Valley Times where the manager at Sweetie's Big Fun was commenting about our bag ordinance and saying they wished that we had spoken to them. As many of you probably remember, I actually reached out to the owner when we were debating that measure back in November. And as a courtesy, I reached out to him. He had no idea about that. He asked me to forward the article from the Chagrin Valley Times to him, which I did. He was very, very apologetic. He wanted to. He was willing to write a retraction letter to the editor. I said, no need. He's enjoying being in Orange Village. He's gung-ho in favor of this. He appreciated us having that phase-in period of a few months. And he's like, my employees are certainly welcome to their opinion, but he was very, very happy with how we proceeded with that. He did make the suggestion, however, that as a small retailer, and he's a mom and pop shop, he has a problem coming up with a reusable bag or a paper bag that fits for his needs, and might this be something that Pinecrest or Orange Village could provide, maybe for sale, a reusable bag? So I reached out to somebody I'm friends with who works for Fairmount Properties. Most of the businesses are national companies. They want you to have Vineyard Vines, XYZ brand or logo there. It's advertising for them. But I understand that Pinecrest has some money in their marketing budget, and they'd be willing to partner with us to have some reusable bags. Maybe they'd pass them out at Salute to Orange or the Orange football games. They could have the Pinecrest logo. They could have the Orange Village seal on the other side, something advertising, the fact that this is reusable, blah, blah, blah.
Maxine?
That's what I was going to say.
What if they had the Pinecrest seal on one side, and on the other side, all the places, tenants I mean, that's their
Why
market.
would we pay for that?
That's exactly my point.
This is nothing that we would be expected to pay for, but they don't have, and I asked that, they don't have the rights to those logos and trademarks and things, as opposed to just the Pinecrest logo. So that's why it was just going to be at that level? Yes.
Did you say, maybe I misunderstood you, but, did you say you wanted us to provide bags or?
Reusable bags.
We did that once, maybe 10 years ago, we had an Orange Goes Green salute thing, and we made reusable bags. So I wanted to do that again with this year's County Waste District grant. Remember?
They
I
won't,
suggested that?
yeah, but you can't use it for that. It's a no-no. It's on one of the things you can't use it for.
So there are funds in the Pinecrest marketing budget, so I'll have Anna reach out to her, and it sounds like something it's only a win-win for everybody.
I would only participate, not because Orange Village is in the business of buying bags for people, but if this council thinks this is a clever and a good idea and you want to do it, then.
You say it's no money to.
It's not going to cost us anything. Pinecrest would pay for it.
Did they pay for half and we pay for it?
No, they would pay for it.
Not saying that.
Yes.
The retailer would pay for it, not.
The developer, Pinecrest would pay, it would be within their budget.
Then what do they need us for?
Probably for.
Use of our logo, the use and identity.
Share the space with us.
What's the purpose of the bags?
Reusable bags, just promoting the fact that we are the first community not to have, to ban plastic bags. It seems to go hand in hand. And maybe people can go and bring them to Whole Foods or wherever they shop. And
We did the Orange Goes Green thing, we did pass out reusable bags, but they weren't the best quality.
so on another topic, from what I learned, it sounds like the last time we surveyed our residents, but a lot of conditions and things in Orange Village was in 2014. I would like to think about commissioning another survey to find out. There's been a lot of turnover in the village. We have new residents, more residents. What people are happy with, if they have any areas of improvement, or more importantly, what I'd really like to get at is a wish list. We don't have all of the numbers yet, but our projections are very conservative for tax revenues now with Pinecrest, and it's very likely we're going to have some extra money in the coffers to do something. And I think it would be very appropriate now, after 5 years, to reach out to our residents and find out what is their wish list. I know we've applied for money for running water for the playground.
Oh, it was a lot of work. It was a really big project. You think 5 years is long enough? We had done 7 years between the last one and that one. And you think things have changed? If you want to figure out how to spend all the money we don't have yet, I would maybe push this back 6 months?
I'm not talking about doing it today. I'm talking about getting our ducks in a row here to figure out, right, but once we figure out what exactly we have. 5 years, a lot has changed. Our budget's going to be significantly different going forward.
Plan towards that for next year.
Or I'm thinking like the fall, maybe, give or take. By then, we should have a better idea. I mean, I've spoken with Dana. We should have a better idea of what we think our recurring revenue is going to be. And
I don't know that we need to do it based on that. I mean, if you're thinking we're going to tell them we have $1 million to spend.
No, I don't think.
I'm not getting into any specifics. We don't know.
We did.
Beyond that, I think it's just to keep us honest. We all have our opinions up here of what we do well, areas for improvement, or what we would like. But I think it'd be nice to reach out to our community and find out what else.
Yeah, the surveys are great. They're a real lot of work, which I'm not saying we can't summon up the effort to do at some time. And we haven't finished everything on that list. We want to get that restroom done.
That's what I just said. And
Some things that.
Yeah, so the hurry isn't quite as urgent, but if, I could make a commitment to do it next year.
regardless, I mean, I think we just should start
We could talk about it.
down the road to that process, because 5 years is a long time, and anybody that's attended, and the mayor goes to all of the different homeowners association meetings that we have, and there are a lot of people with a lot of different ideas out there. And there are some people who have been in the village for 2 years that have certain ideas, and people who have been in the village for 42 years and have other ideas.
A meditation maze. Know about that in Orangewood?
Not, but point being, we will most likely be in a very positive financial situation to possibly attack some of these items on our wish list. So I think it's be a good time to explore that.
Gathering your thoughts, pull out the last one from 2014 and see what questions you want to have a a measurement against, and
Anna, is that something you could send to me, the last one?
You didn't wait too long?
Website, but I'll send it to you as well.
Okay, thank you.
I even know who we'll talk to about it. It was the Planning Commission, but the woman went to CT, Kristen Hopkins.
Kristen Hopkins. But that inquiry was more about planning and future vision than it was about desires for.
Oh, no, it had that, too.
That too?
Oh,
I don't-
yeah. It asked what amenities would you like in the park, and they rated the things, ranked the things they wanted. It was about the trails, it was about the quality of each services, the police, the fire, the service. They look it over, and then we can
If you look over the last 5 years, the park has totally changed. I mean, to the better, obviously.
responding to the things in the survey.
Which is why I agree with Scott that we should start it sooner than later, because, I mean, we have only a couple things, I feel like, left on that punch list. And so if we wait till everything's completely done, and then we start the process there, then we're talking about, a several-year gap before anything actually gets done, by the time if we, if we're going to be applying for grants or anything like
By
that.
no means would I be advertising, we have X amount of dollars left. And
Pull out the old one, and we'll talk about it from there.
Well, can you, Anna, can you get in the next packet, maybe give a copy to everybody of the survey?
It's like 100-something pages.
The survey
Killing
is,
trees.
is it something you can send electronically? Do you have any?
Yeah, it's on the website, but
Let me-
oh, you don't have to, I don't want
If
you
it's on the website, just send the link, that's fine.
Complete thing on our website?
Yeah, that's what I just said, it's on the website.
will
Yeah,
you
but it's thick.
Will you send the link then?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Asked me if we're looking for new things in the park. He wants a fishing pond.
Mark it down.
A fishing pond?
I got other ideas.
I mean, do you think that we send out something to the residents and have them send back in, instead of us saying, hey, what do you think of this, and this?
Do you want it statistically sound, or do you just want us feeling the sentiment of?
Just like some kind of,
Open, they respond to them.
hear me out. So,
I'm agreeing with you.
you're not, you're talking over me. Just hear me out for 1 second. I agree, but like when it's just a click, I think we should have something where, because from what I recall last time, it was, how do you feel about a trail? How do you feel about a dog park? How do you feel about as opposed to, what are things that you want? Something,
There was lists of things for people to choose.
well, it was a list of things that were already
And then they gave people a chance to write in, and
Yeah, there was an
on the
author.
website, it's also all the write-in things.
Okay.
Open-ended. I
We'll
mean,
look at it and then talk about it.
people, I think, got a lot of information to us. We've been able to act on it.
Anything else?
That is it.
Thank you. There was no planning commission meeting this week, so I have nothing to report out of planning. There will be a meeting next week. I did want to report that there was a meeting of the Orangewood Homeowners Association, and I think both Scott and the mayor and I attended it. And speaking of, ideas for the future, there were a few things that came out of that discussion about desires for that development. And one of those is that, okay, we have the trails, and the trails are going to make an extension into Orangewood in part, and would there be any way that we could create a trail through Orangewood along the street there? And how might that happen? And, it's wish list, I said, it's wish list. And they were trying to figure out how to spend some $10,000 in excess funds that they had available. And there were a number of different ideas put forward, including some that were fairly grandiose, but, and probably not likely to come to fruition. Nevertheless, I think if it's appropriate, altogether appropriate to have this sort of open-ended discussion about if we have resources, what would you desire that would make the community even a better place to be? So I would support doing that, making that effort, and leaving, sort of a big blank question for people to put in whatever it is that they think would be appropriate and would be desirable. The other thing, I guess similar, I spoke Monday in Columbus at the Design Columbus conference that was put on by the United States Green Building Council and the Construction Specifiers Institute, and talked about the Orange Goes Green certification program and how it came into being and so forth. And some ideas came out of that I thought were kind of interesting, that recognized efforts on the part of our community in other areas relative to sustainability that people may be doing that we might want to think about. So, there were some ideas like, if there's a composting program or there's some other program, and I mentioned our bag, the introduction of the bag ordinance and the fact that very Monday it went into effect, and there was a lot of support for that. We're starting to see more of that. So where we can be effective and be involved, we should, and create opportunities for people to think about things that would be valuable to make it a better place. And thank you very much.
I don't know, I distracted you or misdirected you. You started asking about clicking. Were you talking about a way to do the survey? I don't know, there's monkey survey, there's other ways to do a survey, and I thought you were starting to ask about that.
Well, I was just saying, I would like, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that we as council, I'd like to keep it out that we're not telling the residents, like, these are your options, do you want that or not? I think we should have a way, when I say clicking, I mean, we have options there, they go, yes, I like this, yes, I like this, yes, I like this, as opposed to having something where they can actually go ahead and give their input and.
Open-ended questions.
He has an idea, that's good, that.
Survey Monkey.
I bet it said of these things, and do you have any other, I'm sure that.
Okay.
The advantage of the survey, as much as we can include in it, then we get back enough information on what the community says. The problem with just letting people submit things, although it's a good idea, and we've always provided room for it, is that one guy sends in an idea, we don't know how the rest of the people feel about that idea. So, I mean, as much as we can get discussed as a committee of the whole, so to speak, that's helpful. Then we can move on to some of these.
And maybe what we do as well is we look at the past survey results, if there is the fill-ins, and we see if there's any other ideas in there that, we haven't focused on, and there might be stuff in the current survey that, can help us.
I found on our website, I'd never seen that part of the site before, it looks like 37% or 474 unique households actually participated.
Something like 92 plus or minus reliability, statistically reliable.
Yeah, 95, yep, 95%.
Yeah.
So if we want to do it, it might just make sense to just update the same one. A lot of it paralleled the one we did the year before, so that we had some benchmarking.
But there'll be additional questions with the dog park, the new playground,
And like the trails.
Sure.
We don't need to ask that anymore. I don't have anything else, unless there's any questions anybody has of me, of our topic that I'm not thinking of.
And maybe we can do a committee at some point, we can set up a committee for
Sure.
for that you would, you could be in charge, you could wear the hat. I was kind of, it was interesting to see that the county has changed their recycling ordinance to basically mimic exactly what ours is.
Except for that one little thing that I wrote you.
Yeah, but it's minimal. Yeah, so, the county previously was trying to propose a bag tax, and they have, I spoke to a couple of people on county council numerous times, and they've apparently, since we changed ours, since we passed ours, they actually changed the direction that they're heading, which I think is pretty cool. And
Surprised they looked so detailed to make that one difference, though.
hey,
The one difference is they don't exclude using the plastic bags for.
out from restaurants.
Yeah, your doggy bag. I probably was thinking about that because of the Cooper's Hawk. I probably had that specific use more on my mind.
Only other thing I have, Steve, did you think or anything into the sidewalks and the developments?
I sent an email to David Hart to get his thoughts and input on what the policy would look like if we went in that direction.
Could we have him come in for a work session to discuss?
he is retiring and moving away pretty soon. So I had asked him, when he called me to tell me this, I said, are you going to have time to finish the sidewalk question? And he said, you had asked him, and he said, yes. I have to see what he can and can't do, and I've been sort of putting this off till next week when I can think about it, when taxes are done. But yeah, we have to find a new planner.
We have a succession issue that we have to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
He thinks he can do that before.
yeah, I mean, if he can do that before, that would be, when is he done? Okay. So, did we know about that this was coming, or?
The last time he was going to retire, he had said he would continue working for us. I don't know that he ever retired, but it wasn't an issue because he was going to continue working for us. It would change. So I've known that retirement's on his horizon, except not retiring from us. What are you talking about? What changed is all of a sudden the pieces came together, their house sold the first day, and then we'll be shot. That wasn't something they were planning. Stars aligned, and
So I definitely would like to see then if he could come into maybe the next council meeting.
Or we could go to Chicago.
he said
or-
he could consult, but it's long distance.
Yeah, no, can we see if he'll come in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Could I just add one other thing in as a follow-up to our conversation last week in regards to the barbed wire discussion? Something did come out of the Orangewood Homeowners Association meeting about some concern about the barbed wire that we had talked about that's along the perimeter of Beachmont Country Club, and they were pleased to hear that there was some discussion going on here about a banning of that ability to use barbed wire.
Make Beachmont have to take theirs down.
Maybe not, but they asked if there might be, with that ordinance going in, might there be a way to discuss with Beachmont, open the door and say, you know, let's take this down. It says something.
The general manager there, and his answer was he was going to go look, he didn't even know there was any, he was going to go check it out, but I guess a Beachmont Club member could bring it up there, too. We're trying to work them, like, out of guilt, not guilt, but...
It works.
I don't have any other, do you have, I don't have any comments. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Please.
Bilski?
Yes.
Barry? Yes. Braverman?
Braverman.
Think about that.
You are?
Well, because if one of us vote no, we can't adjourn.
All right, I have a little baby girl at home. Would you just say yes, please? Yes.
Brandon, what's she doing at 3?
Giggling.